Hello everyone. Today we're going to continue 3.1 with day 2, and we call that 3.1 day 1. We were working with radical and exponential forms to convert between the two. So we're going to continue working on some more using some more examples and properties. Let's take a look at this example right here. Simplifying numerical expressions with rational exponents. We worked with rational exponents a little bit with the last set of examples on the last lesson. So let's continue to apply the power. So here is another way to look at it. B to the m over n is b to the 1 over n times m. So we can rewrite that power separately as 1 over n times m. And that will allow us to take the root. Remember, 1 over n is just means the nth root. So this is how we can apply the root. And so let's take a look at, so here's the property again, applying the power, rewriting the m separately from the 1 over n, because 1 over n is just the nth root. Okay, remember? So we're taking the nth root. So let's take a look at how we can do that with this example right here. 27 to the 2/3. So applying the rule that we just did, we just saw right now, we just learned, is 27 separating the 1/3 power from the 2. We can rewrite that separately, and then we can apply the 1/3 and then rewrite it outside. And we know that the 1/3 power, it just means the cube root of 27. And then you should know that the cube root of 27 is equal to 3. And then if you square the 3, that will give us 9. That is not the only way to solve this problem. So it's just one of the ways. So here's another way. If you prefer staying with the exponent form, you can just rewrite 27 as 3 to the 3rd power. And then we have 2/3 outside still. So the 3's will cancel out, and we have 3 squared, which gives us 9 also. So there's definitely more than one way to solve this problem. Okay, let's take a look at number B. You can go ahead and try this one if you like in your head to see, if how the answers can work out. So here we have 25 to the 3 over 2, which means, again, to isolate, we can separate the 1/2 power. We can rewrite 25 to the 1/3, and we still have a 3 outside. And then take the square root of 25, because 1/2 means square root. And so that will give us 5 cubed, which is 125. And that's the final answer. Or again, you can rewrite, if you prefer to work with the exponents, you can rewrite 25 as 5 squared, and then you have 3 over 2 power. So the 2's cancel out. We have 5 to the 3rd, which is, again, 125. So again, you have more than one option. Here are some problems that you should try on your own before looking at the answers. So go ahead and pause the video and then try the problems, and then come back and watch the answers. Hopefully you've had a chance to try the problem. So let's take a look at the problems. So again, this depends on what method you prefer. So you don't have to, always do both methods, whichever you prefer. So like for me, I prefer the exponent one. I told you that before. So I'm going to rewrite the 32 as 2 to the 5th power. And then we have 3 over 5 as the power. So the 5 and the 5's cancel out here. And we have 2 to the 3rd, which gives us 8 as an answer. If you prefer to see the radical method, I think this is the way that you work it out. So you can take a look at that. And number 6, again, we can go ahead and work that out using the power form. So we can write 4 as 2 squared, and then we have 5 over 2 as a power, minus, again, 4 is 2 squared, and then we have 3 over 2 power. So the 2's will cancel out in both of them, and we will have 2 to the 5th minus 2 to the 3rd, which gives us 32 minus 8, and the answer is 24. So again, here is the radical form method of solving the problem. So you can take a look at both and see which one you're most comfortable with. And that's the end of that problem. Here's some more try it problems. So make sure you guys go ahead and try it before you look at the answers. Hopefully you've had a chance to try the problem. So here we have substitution. They want us to replace a with 16. So we're going to start with writing 16 for a, and then we're going to solve by simplifying. So using whichever method that you prefer, you can solve this problem. So you can use radical or rational. I'm going to go ahead and use the rational form that I prefer. So I can write this as actually, I'm going to write this as 16 as 2 to the 4th, and then we have 3 over 4. So the 4's will cancel out, and I have order of operation, which is 6 outside by itself, and then we have 2 to the 3rd power, which gives us 6 times 8, and then gives us a final answer of 48. Number 13, again, we're substituting 64 for C, so we're going to do that first. And so that will give us square root, basically the square root of 64 plus the cube root of 64. And if you do not want to use radicals, you can also rewrite it as the base power of 2, or you can rewrite it as 8 squared to the 1/2 power, and then 4 cubed to the 1/3 power. So that would be the rational form. But either way is fine. So I'm going to separate this. And so the square root of 84 is 8. And then the cube root of 64 is 4. So the final answer is 8 plus 4, which is 12. And here are the answers again, 48 and 12. Here's some more try it problems. So make sure you try it before you actually look at the answers. Again, we're going to let m equal to 32, so we're going to replace m with 32, and we have a 3/5 power over 8. And we're going to simplify 32. I'm going to rewrite that as 2 to the 5th power, because now I know that will give me a nice and clean answer. The 5 and the 5 will cancel out, and I will have 2 to the 3rd over 8. And I know that 2 to the 3rd is just 8, so that is 8 over 8. And the final answer is 1. Number 15. Again, we're going to let d equals 128, and we have a 5 over 7 as a power. And I am going to rewrite the 128 as 2 to the 7th power. You can go ahead and double check my answer to make sure that 2 to the 7 is 128. And again, the 7's will cancel out. So we will have 0.5 times 2 to the 5th power, which is 32. And multiplying 32 times 0.5 should give us 16 as a final answer. And that's the end of the problem. And those are the answers again. And that is actually also the end of the lesson. So go ahead and log into Google Classroom and get started with your homework for today. Have a nice day.